Hey guys, on today's video, I wanted to do a really quick video on the basics of getting sober. And by that I mean, what happens when I stop drinking? What happens the first 7 days? And I want to do this because when I got sober, I used to Google how to detox, how to stop drinking, what happens the first week, what do I do if this and this and this and this happens? Because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how to do it, and I wasn't sure what to expect. So, I stopped drinking on December 11th of 2015. I was released from the hospital after having that 0.3 or whatever blood alcohol content. And so, while in the hospital, they had given me a pill, which eventually I did swallow, that would prevent seizures. Because in my experience, I had had a seizure in 2012 while stopping drinking. So first of all, when we stop drinking, if you're a heavy drinker, you're at risk of your body kind of revolting against you. And by revolting, I mean you've put these chemicals, you've put this poison inside your body for so long that it's become adapted to it. So you take it away and your body's like, what the hell's happening? How do I survive? What do I do? How do I react? What's going on, right? Because we've become dependent on this chemical, and to just take it away cold turkey can be dangerous. That doesn't mean you should wean yourself off. That doesn't mean you should taper off. You should do what's best for you, and you should always consult with a doctor. And if you're like me, you hate doctors, so you're like, fuck that. I'm gonna do it on my own because I know everything, and nobody can convince me otherwise. And that's your choice. You're an adult, you're a human, you have this right. So the point of this video is to kind of give you an overview of what can happen. I mentioned I had a seizure. I had a grand mal seizure when I stopped drinking, and my body convulsed because it went into shock without having that alcohol in its system. Because I had been a heavy drinker, and my body had become adapted to it. So my liver, my enzymes, they needed it to function almost. So when I took it away, it didn't know what to do. There wasn't enough water. There wasn't enough anything to kind of keep me over that edge. So when I stopped drinking in 2015, I did, since I was in a hospital, I did take a pill that prevented seizures. That didn't keep me from being at risk of DTs. That didn't keep me at risk from sweating or becoming dehydrated. It just kept me from having a seizure again. So when we drink heavily and we detox, we can have a seizure. We can have delirium tremors. So we can have like these psychosis moments of seeing things, hearing things. We can become extremely dehydrated because our bodies are sweating. It's not sure how to react, so it sweats out all the toxins. And headaches, shakes, tremors, exhaustion are just another few side effects. Also, if you're like me, you'll probably crave a lot of sugar because when we drink alcohol, it turns to sugar inside of our bodies, so it becomes kind of adapted to that, and it's kind of. And I personally chose to go this route. I chose to eat a lot of sugar because it allowed me to detox off of the alcohol a little bit easier. I don't suggest that because then you're trading one addiction for another. But if it works, work it, because it's all about finding what's going to work best for you. The first 3 days, you're at the most risk for those seizures and for DTs and for becoming sick. After the first 3 days, you're more in the clear. You're probably not going to have that seizure. You're probably not going to get the DTs. You're still going to sweat. You probably will still have the shakes and the trembles, and you'll probably feel very weak, tired, and have headaches. So drinking lots of water will be your best friend. And checking in with people, because we get inside of our heads, and around day 5, was hard because the alcohol is almost out of your system. And then shit's getting real and you're realizing that, oh no, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to continue doing this? And this is the point when having a group to talk to, having people to confide in, having somebody to say that the alcohol thoughts are popping back up in my head because that hangover's further away. Those guilt, shame, remorse, those bad things, that bad, icky feeling that I was having before, it's a little bit further away. So how do I go from day 5 to get to day 7 to have the alcohol gone, and then get to double digits like day 10 when the alcohol's out of my system and I can actually start working on not drinking and implementing a lifestyle of not drinking? And for me, it was very simple. I had to talk to somebody. I had to be like, yeah, I can't stop shaking. I'm constantly sweating. I feel like crap. I'm not hungry. I keep eating sugar because it's the only thing that gives me that little bit of a high so that I can kind of sort of function on a relative, somewhat, I guess, normal existence. And I think I'm going insane. Bottom line. It can seem intimidating. It can seem like a lot. Like, why would I stop drinking if I'm going to have a seizure or have these delirium tremors or sweat? Like, why would I stop drinking? Because after you get past day 7 and you get to the day 10 and you're not physically withdrawing, it gets easier. Yeah, you still have that mental obsession maybe. Maybe you have that desire to drink because something happens and it triggers you. But then you don't have the physical along with the mental. Now you're just dealing with the mental. So now you can go talk to people. You can tell them what's going on. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It can be a secret group on Facebook, like the groups I host or the groups I've been a part of. It can be one friend. It can be your spouse. It could be your loved one. It's just a matter of talking it out so that it's not all in your head. Because I used to fantasize the drink before I even took the drink. So talking it out allows me not to have to be alone. And bottom line is, when it comes to drinking and recovery, the difference is I drink alone and I recover with other people. I can't do it by myself. It can be one person, it can be 60 people, but I can't do it alone, because alone means I have all these crazy thoughts or reactions or feelings, and it's a lot and it's hard and it's scary. But doing it together means it's not just me versus the world, it's us versus the world and us versus the feelings. So reach out, don't give up. The first week is the hardest, but it's worth it and you're worth it. So thanks for listening and take care.